From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, February the 20th, 2025. We open with very difficult news today. The return to Israel of 4 deceased hostages, 503 days after they were abducted alive by Palestinian terrorists during the Hamas massacre of October the 7th, 2023. One of the deceased hostages has been positively identified as Oded Lifshitz, who was 83 years old at the time of his abduction. The other 3 are believed to be Shiri Bibas and her 2 children, Ariel and Kfir. However, the remains were still in the process of being identified as of the time of the taping of this newscast. And the Bibas family said yesterday, "We ask to refrain from eulogizing our loved ones until there is confirmation following final identification. And we will respect their wishes." Shiri's husband, Yarden, abducted on October the 7th and held separately from his family, was released on February the 1st of this year. The Prime Minister's office said this morning about the return of the remains. Israel has, through the Red Cross, received the coffins of 4 deceased hostages. The coffins were transferred to an IDF force and the Israel Security Agency inside the Gaza Strip. They were then transferred to Israel and taken in a convoy to the Health Ministry's National Center of Forensic Medicine for identification. IDF soldiers and civilians stood on the side of the road as the convoy passed to pay their respects. Oded Lifshitz was held in captivity by Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and according to the head of the Forensics Institute, murdered in captivity by the terror group over 1 year ago. His wife Yocheved was also kidnapped on October the 7th. She was released by Hamas several weeks later. The 2 were among the founders of Kibbutz Nir Oz, where they were kidnapped, and lifelong peace activists. The Lifshitz family released a statement today saying, "We received with deep sorrow the official and bitter news confirming the identification of our beloved Oded's body. 503 agonizing days of uncertainty have come to an end. We had hoped and prayed so much for a different outcome. Now we can mourn the husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather who has been missing from us since October the 7th. Our family's healing process will begin now and will not end until the last hostage is returned." Prime Minister Netanyahu said today upon the return of the remains, "My brothers and sisters, dear citizens of Israel, on this day we are all united in grief that is too heavy to bear. Today every home in Israel bows its head." And Israelis gathered in Hostage Square in Tel Aviv today to receive the horrible news of the remains being returned, to mourn and to stand together. 59 hostages still remain held captive in Gaza now for 503 days. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, February the 20th. Coming up at 7 o'clock, it's the ILTV's Insider. Then at 7:30, I speak with social media star Montana Tucker about her amazing advocacy for Israel and the Jewish people, especially since the October 7th massacre. At 8 o'clock, author and former Obama speechwriter Sarah Hurwitz sits down with Jonah Platt to discuss the power of Jewish study, the relevance of Jewish wisdom in modern life, and to offer advice for Jewish students and parents navigating today's campus climate. At 9, Rabbi Avi Weiss is on L'chaim. At 10:30, a replay of the news. And coming up next, it's Defending Israel with David Harris. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, February the 20th, 2025. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.